All right, what's going on, guys? Ryan again with rpkcustoms.com. I decided to just do another video on my Loki mask since I talked about it in the last video. So this mask is something that I bought probably, I think it was probably 6 or 7 years ago now. I cannot remember for the life of me the maker of this mask. It's resin. It's been 6 or 7 years, and I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details. I think it might be a real art. I did a little bit of research before shooting this video. I think it might be a real art. I know that when I bought this, I got this from somebody who had an original mold for the actual prop that they used in the movie. And that was a selling point for me. If I could get to almost 100% accuracy from the movie, I wanted to go with that. I think I ordered a really cheap one off of Amazon. I was just going to hang it on my wall, but I got it and it looked just awful. So I returned that. And then I started diving into actual replicas. And I stumbled on this. It was $90. I think it was $90, something like that. Give them $90 and they send you it's just a black resin cast. And then from there, you have to clean it up yourself, paint it. I know there's a lot of edge. There's a lot of like casting lines in the edges here that had to be cleaned up. So this wasn't just a easy project. There was a little bit of work involved. It took me, I don't know, a couple days maybe of just kind of toying with it to get it to the point that I wanted. Now, the colors I used were just regular enamel colors. The shade of green, I decided to go a little bit darker. In some scenes in the movie, the mask looks a lot like this, where it's really dark, especially at night and when Jim Carrey finds the mask in the water. It looks kind of dark, and I kind of wanted to replicate that, or that look. Now, when he has it in his apartment and he's kind of looking it over and, talking to himself in the mirror and everything, holding the mask up to his face, you can see that it looks, the green color looks a lot lighter, almost like a neon green. Maybe not neon, but it's just a lighter shade of green. But I'm not really a big fan of that. I prefer the darker color. So this is one of my Grail items. I've always wanted a really highly accurate replica of the mask that they used in the movie. And I'm extremely happy that I was able to find a replica or a casting that was made from the mold that they used on the actual set of the movie. I just think that's really cool. This is one of those things that is going to stay in my collection for a long time. I'm never going to sell it. It's just a really cool piece. This is just going to be a short video. Just wanted to go over this. I know the past couple of videos have not been about lightsabers at all. They're just, pieces of my personal collection that, these are the things that I've just been obsessing over for a really long time. And I'm glad to finally have them in my collection. I still have a handful of props left that I need that I consider Grail items. But, yeah. The Mask. One of my favorite movies, man. I don't know. There's maybe just because I'm a 90s kid. But I love The Mask. I just watched it again a couple of nights ago. And I think that the dancing scene between Jim Carrey's Mask character and Cameron Diaz is probably one of my favorite scenes in cinema. It's a very cool, fun scene. Kind of pointless. Doesn't really add anything to the story, but it's fun. It's really cool. I like it. Jim Carrey might not be for everybody, but You know, if you grew up in the '90s, it was always Jim Carrey, and I mean, he pumped out like I think it was like 4 movies in a year or something like that. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and a couple other ones. Ace Ventura. I think all those came out in the same year. So I mean, he was big back then. Every time I put one of those movies on, it brings me back to being a kid in the '90s. So I did not really research this before filming the video, but I believe that there was 3 or 4 different masks used in the movie itself. I know in the very beginning, when you see the diver pry the box open and the mask is floating up, that was one version. From what I remember, they had a CO2 canister attached somehow in the back of the mask. And when you see the mask floating up like that, that CO2 canister was there on purpose for, the bubbles and the just the way it was floating up. So they wanted to float up like that. And so that was one version. I know there was a hero version where, it was all just Jim Carrey holding the mask. And then I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think the one that the dog carries might be a different version. Not really sure. I think I remember there being 4 different versions. I'm kind of fuzzy on the details. But as far as I know, this was taken from the hero cast. Or the hero mold, I should say. So all these lines and grooves here, if you watch the movie, and then you look down at this, you can see all the same lines and grooves in the exact same places, which is pretty cool. So I appreciate you watching, guys. Next video I'll come out with is probably going to be a lightsaber video. There are just other movie props that I like other than just lightsabers. And, since I'm doing these videos, I just want to kind of talk about them a little bit. Because I don't really get too much of a chance to bring them down and play with them. They're typically just sitting on my shelf, collecting dust. So thanks for watching, guys. May the Force be with you.